Hey everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing a neat little beginner's drone by JJRC. This is a JJRC H33, as you can see here on the box. It comes in orange and it comes in a green trim, as you can see. There's also a camera version and there's a Wi-Fi version. This is just the basic version of it. And it's a nice little beginner's drone. It has, really smooth flying characteristics. It has only one yaw rate. But there's only 2 speeds, so the yaw works nice between the two. It's just really nice flyer with a long flight time. Just really good quadcopter for a beginner. And even someone like myself who has a decent amount of experience, I still enjoy flying this because it has long flight time. It's low hassle and there's not a lot of gimmicks. There's no camera on this one. Just fun to fly around in the back or front yard. Got this landing gear you just pop on the bottom. It doesn't even take screws. You can see here where the camera would hook up. You got an on and off switch here. Got one blue LED in the front and 2 green on the rear. They're rather small LEDs, so they're not super easy to see. You can't even turn it off if you want to save a little battery power, but you're not going to save much battery power because it was so small, running off a 1S LiPo. But like I said, you can turn them off, but they're not real easy to see during the daytime. But you can see them fine at night, but they do flash whenever you reach the LVC. You got your white propellers in the front and your black in the rear, so that helps with your orientation. And since it doesn't have that crazy yaw like the H31, you're not going to lose your orientation as real easily. But so it's really sporty in a high rate, but not super sporty. But just really nice, smooth flyer. Like I said, I really like it a lot. It comes with this 1S 300 milliamp hour LiPo. It's 20C. Uses a little micro low-C connector, and it uses just a USB charger like many of them do with the micro low-C connector there. And it's not going to take too long. It takes about an hour, and the instructions says 70 to 90 minutes, but it's closer to an hour. I mean, it's only 300 milliamps, so it's not going to take that long to charge. Like I said, when I've charged it, I think it's been around an hour, but I haven't got an exact time on it. Comes with prop guards if you want to put those on. If you're a beginner, which this is aimed at, I think, you might want to put these on if you're worried about, damaging the propellers. But these propellers are extremely rugged. These are really very similar to the H31, so I don't think you're going to need these prop guards. But if you want to, put them on, if you're going to fly this indoors, you might want to put it on. But this is just really easy to get caught up in a tree if you put these on. So I would not recommend it because, as far as I can tell, these did not come with any spare props. Unless I misplaced them. I get so many drones to review that I can't find a spare set. I don't remember seeing a spare set in there. So, if it comes with a spare set of propellers, I misplaced them, I apologize. But I don't think that it did. But I've never had that issue before, so I'm a little bit embarrassed. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't. The packing contents just lists the main blades as if you had just the 4 to put onto the quadcopter, but it would be unusual for a quadcopter to not come with at least 2. So like I said, I may have just misplaced them, so don't take my word for certain on that. But these are really, these bend, they're very flexible and they're rugged. They're a lot like the H31, which that's in that promo for that quadcopter. They would cut the blades and the thing would still fly. So it's very unlikely that you're going to bust these, but it's not impossible. But blades like, since this is a pretty universal blade by JJRC, you'll have no trouble finding a spare set of propellers. It's listed as a spare set as a option you can pick up for this particular quadcopter. Like I said, but it comes with a Phillips screwdriver and some screws, for like the battery on the back, and I'm thinking it could be, for replacing the propeller on the top if you needed to put a new screw in or put new propellers on the quadcopter. So let's go ahead and go over the controller. It's it's kind of a gaming style controller. It has no altitude hold, so it's like I said, it's good for beginners so you don't develop bad habits. You've got this trim here for your pitch and your roll. On the left though, you've got different features. This top one is your headless mode, and the bottom is 1 key return. This left one here, this one turns LEDs on and off. So if you want to save, like I said, a little battery power, but you're really not going to notice the difference on that. And this one here is that new gimmick I'm seeing called the auto yaw. It just spins in circles really quickly, or yaws in circles really quickly. The instruction manual gives it an odd name. I think it calls it, look here, I think it calls it speed trim, which I don't know why it would call that, because it's no trim. It's it's yawing in circles, and you'll see it in the flight video how it spins around, and you just can press that button or your right stick and cancel that. It's like the third quadcopter recently I've seen that has that feature, and it's just a gimmick that I don't know why they're adding it, but it doesn't hurt anything. It's silly. It doesn't, I don't see any purpose of it. The left here is your camera, for your video and photo, if you have that camera or the camera version, you add it. And then the top right here, on the inside top right, is your speed, your 2 speeds, and your top outside here is doing your 3D flips, and it does 3D flips really well too. So really nice. It's a long flyer. I got this a tad over 8 minutes flight time, about a 15-second LVC when I could see the lights flashing. It could be a little longer. Like I said, it's a little hard to see those lights flashing when you're doing this in the daytime, but 8 minutes is impressive. So overall, this is a really nice quadcopter. It's only available on Amazon as far as I can tell. I've not seen it on any of the Chinese vendors' websites. So that's where I picked this up, and I think it was around $33, so not bad at all for beginning quadcopter that you can get really quick if you got Prime. So I have a purchase link in the description to this product on Amazon's website. So I highly recommend it, and I think it's a really nice little quadcopter for beginners. So I think we covered everything here. One other thing, we want to go over the gyro calibration. I almost always forget that. That's down and to the right, and then until it stops flashing, and that'll calibrate your gyro. So now I think we've covered everything. So let's move along now to the flight review. Alright, so I have the JJRC H33, this little mini quadcopter. It's all bound up, ready to go. There's quite a bit of noise today, so hopefully you hear me okay. The last couple houses in this entire subdivision is being built, then we shouldn't have to worry about construction noise out here anymore. So let's go ahead and we'll set it down and take it up and demonstrate its flight characteristics. This is a really nice little flyer, and it's relatively inexpensive. It only has 1 yaw rate, but it's a nice yaw rate, so it seems to be fine for both the low and the high rates. Let's go ahead and take it. That's the low rate, and there's a higher rate. It's a little spoilier in the higher rate. You want that if there's any breeze. There's a lot of noise, so I may not talk quite as much as normal. Just a lot of construction noise out here. Let's go back to the lowest rate and I'll show you again. There's a yaw. It's a little bit of a breeze today, so it's getting blown around a little bit. And then the highest rate. Bring it back over here. There's a yaw. So it's getting blown around quite a bit because it's rather lightweight, so you have to keep that in mind when there's any breeze. It's not a lot of wind today, but enough that it will blow on you when you're trying to just maintain a hover. So we'll keep it in the highest rate. So there's just 2 rates, but it's got a nice flight time of around 8 minutes. It's very stable. Doesn't have any fancy features, no camera, but you can add one to it. It does have a plug for it. No altitude hold. So really good quadcopter that's really good for I think a beginner. You're not going to get lazy with this and depend on altitude hold and learn bad habits. Let's do some flips here. Flips are real nice on it. Hopefully I got that in the field of view here. Oops. There you go. Really nice 360 flips. Raises up a little bit. It does them real nice, not sloppy. Just fly it around here a little bit, and especially right now the breeze has let up for a moment, so you definitely want the highest rate if you got any breeze at all. But if you're a beginner, you can get by on the lowest rate on a very calm day. So today is not bad. There's just a little intermittent wind here at times, and it does blow it around a little bit, but not bad at it by any means. Let's do some funnels. It does funnels nice as well. Let's bring it down a little lower and do that. It even kind of rises up. Ooh, don't want to get onto the roof. So it's got plenty of power, and it's rather lightweight. I didn't weigh it, but it's a very lightweight craft. The landing gear just snaps on. It doesn't take any screws. The screws that come with it are to replace the propellers if you needed to. Has a lot of similar design features to the JJRC H33, the waterproof craft. Similar propellers, similar flight characteristics. Just doesn't have that highest rate with that real crazy yaw like the H33 has. It's a little bit smaller than the H33 also. But similar long flight time, nice flight ability. Doesn't have the nice LEDs like the H33 has, the nose LED where you can maintain orientation. This one, let me see here when I touch it. This one just has, I turned off the lights. Let me turn those back on. There we go. Blue in the front and the green in the back, which I showed you earlier. If you bump the left trim here, it turns the lights off. It also has this auto yaw feature, which it doesn't really give you the proper name for it. I'll demonstrate that. That would be the right yaw trim, and there it goes. You just bump the right stick to cancel it. It's the easiest way to do it. So many are adding this auto yaw. It's just a gimmick. I have no idea why they're doing it. I can just yaw with the stick. I don't know. They're just trying to think of anything they can to make their quadcopters different from the competitors. It's just, to me, a useless feature, but they're all, not all, but many of them are starting to add this. This is like the third quadcopter I've gotten recently that has that auto yaw. I'll show it to you again. There it goes. And then you gotta hit a leaf. And it can make it a little harder to fly because you're trying to cancel that, which is easiest with the pitch roll stick. But then, like you see there, I canceled it and I ended up clipping a leaf on the tree. No crash, but like I said, kind of a silly feature. Like I said, the LEDs are not terribly bright here in the day, so you need to maintain orientation with the white propellers, but they'll be fine to see at night. But they are awfully small with just the one blue in the nose, so not overly impressive on the LEDs. But for the one that's LiPo, you're never going to have real bright LEDs. Even the H33's LEDs are not super bright, but they're better than this one. But overall, I really like this quadcopter. And as far as I know, it's only available on Amazon. I checked all the Chinese vendors and nobody had an H33 by JJRC. So I believe this is new. And I've only seen it on Amazon where I got this one. So, if you're in the USA, you can pick this up with Amazon Prime and get it in 2 days. You've got the good customer service. If you have any issues, you have no problem returning this. So I think it's around $33, so not terrible, not super cheap, but not high by any means. But you're also paying for the the Amazon services, so you don't have to worry about the hassle that you deal with most of the Chinese vendors. It's very difficult to get replacements or refunds at times compared to Amazon, at least. So just a really nice quadcopter that I don't have many complaints about. You know, the auto yaw's a gimmick, but besides that, it flies really well. It does flips really well. I think that you can easily hand catch this guy. He's so light, the propellers are not going to hurt you, these little brush motors. But overall, I think that pretty much shows what this guy can do. Just a really, really nice little quadcopter that you know, it's been how JJRC has been lately. They've really stepped up their game with these smaller quadcopters that fly really well and just really easy to fly even without altitude hold. So I highly recommend this one. So definitely check us out. Purchase links in the description. Stay tuned for more videos and have a good day.
The power of the dark side.